Good afternoon from a very warm and sunny Uplands College in Mpumalanga for the CSA T20 knockout game. Mpumalanga Rhinos against the Limpopo Impalas. News from the middle is that the Mpumalanga Rhinos will be batting as we see the Impalas make their way out to the middle. Gareth Dukes and Zakia opening up, formed a very good partnership this season. Alongside me is Martin Lamini. Good afternoon, Martin.
Good afternoon, Neil. Good day out here to have a T20 game at Uplands College. As you say, sun's out, and you've got your two most attacking batters from the Mpumalanga Rhinos in Gareth Dukes and Kathrada to open the batting. Okay, and opening the bowling for the Mpumalanga, for the Limpopo Impalas, you've got Putona. He's going to be bowling the first over and he's going to be running into ball to Zakia Kathrada. Putuna to bowl to Kathrada, the first ball of the game, starting with the third man and a deep square out. Starts with a good length on Kathrada's hips and he flicks it onto 45 and it's a catch first ball. What a start for the Limpopo Impalas. Onto the hips of Kathrada and he flicks it onto the leg side. But it's just straight to the man at 45 in the ring. That is one hell of a start for the Impalas. Not the best ball that you would have said Putuna would have wanted to bowl first up to start the innings. But it's fair to say that Limpopo is going to take the wicket anyway.
That's always... We always feel very unlucky to get caught down the leg side, but it's 2 meters either side, 1 meter either side, and that's 4 runs. But Fortuna got with the Impalas, got a little bit lucky there, and first ball strike.
It also seems that Aubrey Swanepoel has been given a chance up top, coming in at 3 for the first time this season in the T20 competition. Swanepoel will be happy to come in the power play. Putuna at the top of his mark, getting ready to bowl the second ball of the innings to Swanepoel. Hard back of a length, just outside off stump. Aubrey Swanepoel punches it to backward of point and it's a dot.
Looks a very good wicket. We're looking for a minimum of 180. Same pitch as a great game I had last week against the Knights, where 180 played 181. Front foot no ball. Free hit coming up. Not the start. Not the continuation, I should say, after that first delivery wicket. But good opportunity for Swanepoel to free his arms and get off the mark with a nice free hit.
Swanepoel will be happy with that. Free hit to get his innings going here. as Mabe Khola gets ready to bowl the free hit. Aubrey backs away and it tries to squeeze it past backward point, but it just finds the man and it's a dot.
Bit of a length ball, yeah, probably got away with that. Should have possibly having a in the slot and hitting it over vacant cow area, but
so wide down the leg side by Mapekhola.
Mapekhola just seems to be falling away slightly, just pushing it, losing his wrist, pushing it down the leg side. Similar to the first ball of the innings, which saw the back of Kathrada. Turning into a long over this. Bit of a slight misfield and bit of a miscommunication, but Jukes manages to get back at the non-strikers end.
All happening in the first over here. We've seen a wicket first ball, we've seen a no ball, we've seen a wide, we've nearly seen a run out the bowler's end. Four but slightly missing leg stump. It hits Swanepoel on the pad. The umpire says that is missing. As much as Mapekhola has bowled one too many extras, he's only gone for 2 runs in his first over, so that's not too bad. Bet your captain will be happy with that. As he runs into ball, the last ball of the over. Oh, it's a short ball down the leg side and it's called a wide. Fair to say he got lucky with that first ball getting a wicket down the leg side. But yeah, this doesn't look to be the tone that you want to be setting with your first over in a T20 game. But he's only gone for 3 so far. He still has 1 ball to go. Short and wide. Swanepoel cuts it, but he finds the man at cover, and it's a dot yet again. Mpumalanga Rhinos are 3 for 1 after the first over.
Effectively a 7-minute first over. Limpopo Impalas will now be looking to get through their overs a lot quicker than the first one. Big game this for these two sides, both sitting joint 4th, and winner of this will go clear into 4th position. Obviously top 4 qualify, first 2 go into eliminator for straight to the final, then 3 and 4 play qualifier to get to play the loser of 1 versus 2. So much to play for.
And now coming in at the bottom end is Mokholoboto, right arm offie. He comes around the wicket to bowl to Gareth Jukes, who faces his first ball of the innings. Oh, takes off the off stump, first ball. Seemed to be a good length, but didn't turn at all. Just skidded on and went on to hit off stump of Gareth Jukes' first ball. What a start by the Limpopo Impalas.
Interestingly enough, those have both opening batters been dismissed first ball. As you watch the replay, just carrying on with the arm and taking out the off stump. Magical start here for the Benbro Impalas. 3 for 2. Captain Mayet strolling to the crease. These two will have to do a bit of a rebuilding job, which the Impalas, which might suit the Impalas. they'll be looking to get through this power play with as minimal damage as possible, but a lot of pressure on the Rhinos now to try and get off to a decent start in the power play. But with only 3 runs on the board for the loss of both openers, it's going to be a tricky task that lies ahead.
Yeah, a bit of a job to be done by the middle order here. If you look at the last couple of games for the Mpumalanga Rhinos, they've had a good start, and that's been mainly because of the openers, Kathrada and Dukes up front. But now that both of them are out, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to step up today. As Mokgoloboto bowls to Mayet on off stump again, similar ball that got Dukes out, but Mayet is up to the task as he blocks one to cover.
Backs away, gives himself a bit of room, finds a gap out there, but not enough to get to the boundary, and well chased down and comfortably back for 2. Good confidence, good use of the feet. Mayet very strong on the offside against spin, uses his crease very well. Mokgoloboto will be looking not to give him any room on that offside, but like that, tuck him up, got plenty of protection on the leg side. And looking to pitching it on around near leg stump, nothing wider than that. There we go, worked out. Energy's high, the Limpopo fielders, as you expect. 2 wickets down the first 2 overs. Last ball of the second over, only 5 runs on the board. Very good from Mokgoloboto, and that brings to the end. Second over, Mpumalanga Rhinos 5 for 2.
It's a tidy start from the Limpopo bowlers,
barring a few wides and a no ball.
Yeah, but having picked up 2 wickets in the first 2, you sort of take that. If you put it in perspective, they've only given away 5 runs, and that's already 2 overs of the power play. So if you're a coach and if you're the captain, fair to say that you're going to take that. As we see the change of bowling from the top end, Madimokane comes in to replace Putuna. Balls the back of a length, just outside off stump. Aubrey Sonopol cuts it, but it doesn't get a lot of bat, and they manage to scamper across for a single. And that brings Mayet back on strike.
As the mower in the background is busy cutting the B field, as you get at school cricket. Mayet shapes to possibly have a pull at that, but rushes him a little bit and only push it out onto the offside for a dot.
Yeah, Modimogane seems to be bowling with a bit of energy, which is usually needed in the power play. Just has to stay tight on those stumps. Modimogane runs in, hits a good length, and finds the outside edge of Mayet, but that just goes past the keeper. A diving Sizo Masondo just can't manage to get across enough to get a hold of that. As we see Mayet signaling that he rolled fingers on that. Mayet will be happy to get 4 runs from that. Seemed to be a good ball. Madimogane to Mayet again. Fallen leg stump and punched on the leg side. Mid-wicket runs in. Shies at the bowler's end, but just misses. Energy's high here from the Limpopo Impalas. Bit of a chance for them again there for a third in the power play.
Looked like a direct hit there. Mayet would have found himself short. I think it possibly thought that he might have just beaten mid-wicket there, but he didn't. Quickly came across, and the shy narrowly misses. Two opportunities and 2 balls. He bowls a short one. Swanepoel ducks underneath it and through to the keeper for a dot. Change up there. He's bowled a couple of slowies the last 2 balls and quicker bounce to that one. Not giving anything away.
Interesting call there from square leg umpire saying that's below the shoulder. So that is not one for the over. Full and outside off. Swanepoel tries to squeeze it onto the offside, but it just misses. And that brings the end of the 3rd over. The Mpumalanga Rhinos are 11 for 2. Makgoloboto back to bowl his 2nd over in the power play. And he goes and bowls to Mayet. Good length, just outside leg, worked onto the leg side. Square leg comes around, picks it up, throws it back to the bowler's end.
I think that's I think it's going looking. Swanepoel might look, if he bowls that similar line, looking for a sweep. The angle that he's bowling, pitching outside leg, it's a fairly safe shot with square leg up, fine leg up, short fine up. Definitely the sweep is on for any ball that's starting fairly straight from around the wicket. A little bit of improvisation possibly needed here. Swanepoel looks to leave that actually, and doesn't quite get his pad out the way, so it just pops out onto the leg side for a dot.
Got away with that. Makgoloboto could have easily been helped along.
Just chips it over mid-off and out past the outstretched hand of Krishna, and they comfortably back for 2. Didn't get all of it by any means, but got enough to just clear the ring. Slightly give himself a bit of room. Swanepoel looking to go on offside. Works out onto the leg to square. Straight to square leg for another dot. Makgoloboto, very good start here. He was looking to close out the over. As goes for a big slog, does Swanepoel, and holds out too long on, and that is the end of Swanepoel's brief innings. Now with the Rhinos in trouble at 14 for 3.
This is one hell of a start by the Limpopo Impalas bowlers. Makgoloboto staying tight on that leg stump, not giving Swanepoel enough room to hit the ball on the offside to free his arms. Swanepoel wanted to sort of get the innings going for the Mpumalanga Rhinos, but he just found the man at long on. Not the starts that the Mpumalanga Rhinos would have wanted, losing 3 wickets in the power play before the end of the 4th over. But the wicket of Swanepoel brings the experience of Benjamin van Niekerk to the crease. Usually comes in at number 4, but he comes in at number 5 today. He will be facing the 1 delivery left in the over from Makgoloboto. Fanikek has been the leading run scorer for the Mpumalanga Rhinos for the last couple of seasons. Good man to walk out into this situation. As he tries to work one on the leg side, Squele comes in, but he manages to get across for a quick single. Mpumalanga Rhinos are now 15 for 3 after 4 overs.
Bichala back into the attack after bowling the first over. We'll be looking to bowl a bit straighter than he did in the first over. And once again oversteps, which gives Fanikek a nice opportunity early in his innings for a free hit. Short and flat batted by Fanikek. Doesn't get all of it. Over long on, and they comfortably back for 2. Over mid on.
The Limpopo Impalas have had a good start to the ball, but Mapechole doesn't seem to have gotten his run up right. He's overstepped a few times and bowled a couple down the leg side as well. So he'll be looking to tidy things up a little bit more than that. As he bowls a hard back of a length, Fanikek tries to work it onto the leg side, but he finds mid wicket. And it's a dot. Hasn't bowled particularly well today, even though he had a wicked first ball. As he bowls a full one on the stumps, Fanikek punches it back, and it's a dot. Short and wide. Fanikek tries to go on the cut, but he gets a bottom edge on that. And the keeper manages to just stop that. Fair to say he might have gotten away with that. With the field being up on the offside, that might have been hit through for 4. As the captain makes a change in the field, takes out slip and puts him at cover to finish the over. Full on leg stump. Fanikek punches it just past the stumps, and they manage to get a single there. And that brings Mayet back on strike. He's only faced 9 balls in the innings so far. Bet Mayet would love one of those no balls from Petuna. Good length on off stump. Solid block from Mayet, and Fanikek says no run there. And that last ball brings the end of the 5th over. The Mpumalanga Rhinos are 19 for 3. seems Moholoboto is coming in to bowl his third over. It's been fairly tidy in the power play so far, picking up 2 sticks. LZ balls one on leg stump. Fanikek tries to work it onto the leg side, but he finds square leg yet again. Fallen on off stump, punch to extra cover for a dot. Mpumalanga Rhinos looking like they trying to absorb a little bit of pressure at the moment. Darted onto the wicket. Fanikek works it onto the leg side. Long on comes around, and it's only a single. This has been tidy work from Moholoboto so far. Misses down the leg side this time, and it's called a wide. It's the first time he's missed in his spell so far today. Good length, just outside off stump. Captain Mayet tries to cut it onto the offside, but he finds cover yet again. It's 4 dots in this over so far. Falling on the stumps. Captain Mayet tries to drive it, and he hits it straight to mid-off. There's a good number of dots for Limpopo Impalas here in the power play. Falling on leg stump. Captain Mayet works it onto the leg side for a single to finish the over. Mpumalanga Rhinos are 22 for 3 after 6.
Makani back into the attack, into the power play. Field spreads, boundaries are at a minimum. Impalas will be very happy with that. They won't mind any delivery now that doesn't go for a boundary in the next 14 overs. Will be a win for them. They will be happy with the start. There we go, pulled out to the leg side, straight to the guy on the boundary, just for a single. Popo will be very happy with this. Restricted the Rhinos to a very respectable 21 for 3 after the first 6. Pressure on the Rhinos. Not only they can't afford now just to tick along at 6-7 over. You know, they've got to get, if they go 10s now for the rest of the game, still only takes their score up to 160. .180 was 179, was a losing score in the last game against the Rhinos on the same pitch. Bit of moisture in the pitch the last couple of days, which has kept it together nicely. And with the sun beating down today, it looks an absolute belter. So we're looking at minimum 160, 170, but it's a long way off from here. Just rolls his fingers across it, and Fanikek just works it to mid-wicket for another dot.
The bowling has been good from the Limpopo Impalas. It's been really disciplined bowling from them. Picking up 3 wickets on the power play certainly helps in restricting the batters from scoring. Hard back of a length. Van Niekerk tries to pull it onto the leg side, but he unfortunately finds mid-wicket. Just diving onto his right. Van Niekerk will be feeling that's a little bit... He was a little bit unlucky there, but Limpopo Impalas picking up their 4th wicket. What a start.
"23 for 4 are the Mpumalanga Rhinos, under a lot of pressure as Herman Rolfers walks out to bat to join his captain.
Herman Rolfers, the vice captain of the Mpumalanga Rhinos for this season. Good all-rounder. He'll be looking to rebuild the batting innings here. It's good enough to take along, but it's also good enough to up the tempo a bit when needed. He comes in at number 6 today, and his team is in a spot to bother. But knowing Herman Rolfers, he'll be up for the challenge. Timokane bowls his first one to Rolfers, and it's a hard back of a length. Rolfers goes back and defends that. Nothing has gone the Mpumalanga Rhinos' way this afternoon. Losing 4 wickets in just under 7 overs here. Full and around off stump. Rolfers punches it to extra cover, and it's a dot. Mpumalanga Rhinos are 23 for 4.
Change of bowling from the northern end. Landsberg into the attack. We're hoping to maintain the same amount of pressure as his fellow off spinner did from the 3 overs from this end. Bit of width. Mayet backs away. Gives himself some room, but only cuts it to backward point. Too much width there, looking to bowl a bit tighter here. That's it, not leaving the stumps, so Mayet can't give himself room on the offside. Mayet looks to advance but doesn't get past mid-wicket.
Looking a bit tough to put away the spin this afternoon. Landback bowls one just short, but on the stumps, Mayet gives himself a bit of room and cuts it to cover sweeper. Looking a little bit challenging to play spin this afternoon, as Spinner's already picked up 2 wickets so far. Landsberg starting with 3 dots in his first over. I think the spinner's length has been really important today. They haven't really overpitched and gone too short as well. They've sort of hit that in-between length. As Landsberg balls one to Rofus and he works it onto the leg side. 45 comes around and collects it and throws it back to the keeper. It's a single for the Mpumalanga Rhinos. They've been really hitting good lengths today and not leaving the stumps too much, not giving the Rhinos batters room to free their hands on the offside. As Captain Mayet comes down the wicket and punches one, and they scamper across for a quick single. Liam Peters at extra cover thought he might have had a chance there in the bowler's end, but Captain Mayet manages to get across in time. Mpumalanga Rhinos are now 26 for 4 after 8. That's another tidy over by the spinner. Only having gone for 3 runs in that over there. And into the attack is Emmanuel Motswiri. Motswiri will be glad to come in at this point in time after having had a good start as a bowling unit. Runs in, but it doesn't bowl it this time, and he goes back.
Do you know him? Popo Parler sticking to a very simple game plan, looking to just hit some good lengths and waiting for the Rhinos to hit them kind of off a good length. A little bit of width there, cut out by Mayet. Possibly just looking at the first 8 overs, obviously 4 overs a spin, just not quite possibly coming on as what both coaches, I think, and us probably expected. Might be slightly slower, so probably changing your plan of a target of from 180 down to 150, 60. Good areas again, and pushed out to Motswiri. Good start, only 1 run off the first 3 balls of the over. Just keeps hitting a good area. There he goes again. Nowhere for Rolfus to go, but apart from pushing it down the ground for 1. And just another single to the total. Impalas will be very happy with this. They haven't taken a foot off the pedal at all in these first almost 9 overs, and looking to close out this over. Mayet comes down the track, crashes it out onto offside. Great scampering, prevents the second. Quickly around by CJ Kleinans and prevents the second. Only a single. Last ball of the 9th over coming up. The Rhinos still score on 29. Back of a length and very well pulled away by Rolfus for a much needed boundary. Well picked up, wasn't that short. If you watch on there, maybe that's impetus that the Rhinos needed. End of the 9th over, 33 for the loss of 4. Very good shot there from Rolfus. Not much bounce from these bowlers. They're more skiddy bowlers than really hit the deck bowlers. So you don't expect too much bounce, but he's picked it up pretty well and just pulled it through mid-wicket for 4.
Yeah, the Mpumalanga Rhinos are going to have to look to rotate strike a little bit more as well. As Lansback bowls 1 to Mayet, and he gives himself a bit of room and cuts it onto the offside. And they get a single. For as long as they're not getting boundaries, you'd like to think that they're going to have to do that. They're going to have to rotate strike just to keep the scoreboard moving. As Rolfus switches, tries to switch it, trying to hit one over backward of point, but he gets a little bit of bat and gets a single from that. 2 singles off the first 2 balls of the over.
Venbro Impalas very happy, will be very happy with this. I don't mind. Rotation of strike. Backs away, does Mayet, but can only pick out sweeper. Comfortably through for another single. 6 and over, that's what they're looking at. Tight into the body can only result in pushing it out to deep and wicket for another single. 4 singles off the first 4 balls. Mayet comes down, hits it back to Landsberg, who grasps a difficult chance, and they trot through for a single. Opportunity there for the Impalas to really lay down more pressure, but Landsberg possibly saved a boundary there. Well struck by Mayet. Out into the mid wicket for a comfortable single, and that brings to the end, halfway through, 39 for 4.
That's where he comes into bowl his second over of the innings. Yeah, just looking at Captain Mayet in that last over, you get a feeling that he sees that they have to get a move on in the game here. Yes, they've lost 4 wickets, but they cannot just sit back and just allow the bowlers to get on top of them. As Rolfus flicks it onto the leg side past mid-wicket, long on comes around and collects that, and they come back for a second run. Yeah, Captain Mayet, he's a lot more aggressive in nature, so he'll be wanting to keep the scoreboard moving as much as possible. So we see a change in the field. Mid-wicket goes to short fine leg, and we have a deep square in a cow corner out on the leg side. Matsuri has been hitting that hard back of a length, so it's been getting worked onto the leg side towards that deep cow corner pocket. The ball's a 4-1 now. Hits toward Liam Peters at mid-off, and it's a misfield, and the Mpumalanga Rhinos get a boundary, a much needed boundary there. Full just outside off stump.
Awkward one there. Thought he could maybe go forward to the catch, and he's just backed away a little bit, and it's like bounced just in front of him awkwardly, and he's palmed it, and it's just ricocheted off to the boundary for 4. Now Rolfus cracks it past Peters at mid-off for another boundary. Great shot from Rolfus. A little bit of width with mid-off up, the gap there. Much impetus here, more impetus here from the Rhinos. 10 runs off the first 3 balls. Matsuri will be looking to bowl a bit tighter lines here. No width given. Balls one back of a length. Not really, probably not short enough for Rolfus to play that. Yeah, didn't quite bounce, but definitely wasn't that short, I think, to play that. We haven't seen too much bounce in this pitch. So I think they'll be looking to go back of length, trying to top of the stumps. Got slightly more margin for error with not much bounce. So definitely hitting that length. That's going to try and just hit the top, but just go over. Comes over, backs away, slaps it over, backward point. Third man runs around, and they're back for a comfortable 2. 12 runs off this over with 1 ball to go. By far the biggest over of the innings. Much needed for the Mpumalanga Rhinos. Back of a length, just punched out to the offside for a comfortable single. Rolfus will maintain the strike. 13 runs off, and that takes the Rhinos to 51 for 4 off 11.
Yeah, that back of a length has been the one that's been the most difficult to put away by the seamers today. Matsuri probably bowled a little bit too full there in that over. Twice, and he paid the price for it. Spinners have been quite handy as well. As Landsberg comes into bowl his second over. And he comes into bowl to Rolfus. Full on leg stump. Worked onto the leg side. Straight to long on, and they only managed to get a single of that. Certainly feeling like the Mpumalanga Rhinos batters have lifted up the intent a bit more. Looking to work the ball around. As Captain Mayet comes down the wicket, but Landsberg sees him coming and bowls that one shorter. And he only manages to hit it onto the leg side for a single. The Rhinos batters are certainly not sitting back and just taking what they get. Seem to be trying to impose themselves onto the bowlers, as Rolfus tries to switch it yet again, but misses it down the leg side, and it's a dot. He shuffles across onto the offside, works it onto the leg side, and Cow Corner comes in quickly and manages to stop that just for a single. 3 singles and a dot in this over so far. 2 balls remaining. Landsberg will be looking for a strong finish to the over. Captain Mayet rocks back and tries to give himself a bit of room, but the Impalas now have 2 backward points, and that's only a dot. 1 ball to go. in the 12th over. Keeper making a change in the field, puts the cover sweeper way more in front. Smayet comes down the wicket, hits one straight, and umpire signals a 6.
First maximum of the day. Brings the end to the 12th over. Much needed boundary. 60 up for 4 of 12 overs. First time the run rate's been up at 5 and over, but needs to go a little bit higher than that.
Mpumalanga Rhinos will be looking for at least 2 20-run overs in their innings to get the scoreboard moving a lot quicker than that. It's going to be interesting to see where those 2 overs are going to come from.
Mapagala back into the attack. Last two good overs from the Rhinos. The last 2 overs looking to maintain that run rate of around 10 and over.
Yeah, the 2 batters have shown a little bit of intent, which we haven't seen in their batting innings so far up until these 2. Good length on off stump. Rofus punches it back straight to the bowler, and that's a dot. Mapagala has only gone for 7 in his first two overs. Picked up the wicket of Kathrada, first ball of the innings.
If they go 10s for the rest of the innings, that's going to take the score up to 140, which you feel is probably minimum needed, as Mapagala falls over in his delivery, but just driven out for 1. Rhinos needing minimum of 1 boundary and over, possibly more consistently, to get to a respectable score. Skids on, Mayek pulls it, a little bit rushed. Just trot through for a single as the ball trickles out to deep mid wicket. Good start to over by Mapagala. Mapagala will be looking to close out what has been a good start to the over. Slightly back of a length. Rofus tries to work him on the leg side, and he misses out and getting hit in the thigh. Slightly too high. Possibly a slight change in pace. Again, Venbro Impalas are holding good areas, good lines. Single there to Rofus. No boundaries this over. Impalas will be more than happy with that. Short, no ball, pulled by Mayet. Out to wide long on, who runs around and collects. This is the third front foot no ball by the Impalas this innings, which Captain Peters won't be happy with. Free hit with Mayet on strike, so the field can't change. So going to be a case of picked up, but straight down, one bounce down to fine leg for a comfortable single. Got away with that one, and that brings an end of the 13th over. We now have a little bit of seam for the first time from the northern end. Mutswiri back into the attack. Interesting to see change of gloves and a drink for the batters. It's warm out there. 13 overs gone, 7 left. We're looking at a minimum of 70 runs will the Mpumalanga Rhinos. 68 for 4, another 70 runs, taking close to 140. Short, pulled out, straight to deep mid wicket, and that is the end of Captain Mayet. Long boundary out there, comes down, connects it pretty well, but not enough height on that, and comfortably taken, and that is the end of the 5th wicket. Brings new batter Karabo to the crease. Mokhotsi come into the side today for Msatwala. He'll be looking to play a little bit of a cameo here, a much needed cameo. As we see a little bit of relief from the heat with a few clouds coming over, which I'm sure the fielders and umpires will be very excited about. It's been a very warm day today.
Yeah, as we said last time, Mokhotsi is a top order batter. Bit of a different position for him to be coming in at number 7 in a T20 game. But what he's going to be able to do today is work the ball around and run hard between the wickets. And hopefully that sort of allows Rofus to sort of put pressure on the Limpopo bowlers. But Mokhotsi will be sort of looking to run hard between the wickets, hit pockets, and hang around until the end and allow Rofus to sort of throw punches at the bowlers. As he works one onto the leg side. Yeah, they look for a second, but long on is onto that, and they only manage to get a single. Mokhotsi off strike straight away. That's his game. In a T20 game, bat on ball, get off strike, run hard between the wickets, allow the other guy to sort of put pressure on the bowlers. As Rofus works one onto the leg side and they're running hard on their first one. Mokhotsi comes back for the second and they make it comfortably. It's good running between these two. That's the energy that Mokgotsi will bring into the crease. It's that lots and lots of running between the wickets, even though it's fair to say that the Mpumalanga Rhinos will need a lot more than that. Matsuri misses down the leg side. Umpire calls that a wide. Rolfus is on 28 of 23 balls so far in this innings. He's the only Rhinos batter that has hung around for a bit and gotten a little bit going. As he works one onto the leg side towards Carl corner, and that's a good catch. It's a good catch diving onto his right. They get the big wit of Herman Rolfus, who was the only Rhinos batter that was getting going a bit. Motswiri bowls a hard back of a length around off stump, and Rolfus tries to pull that onto the leg side, but manages to find the man in the deep at Carl corner. Not the outing that the Rhinos batters would have wanted. But that wicket brings Broken Shaw, another Rhinos destructive batter. He certainly hit it long and flat. He comes in and the Mpumalanga Rhinos are 6 wickets down and only on 72 runs. Good thing is that Broken Shaw has got a bit of time, work the ball around, and then hopefully have a bit of a go to finish the Rhinos innings. But he's usually a man that doesn't need a lot of balls to get going.
Young man, just second year out of school. It's a ball a long way. Another youngster from KZN. A lot of KZN players playing in this game. Drop and run, easy. Mokgotsi electric between the wickets, backing up superbly, and he literally just walked through. So I expect to see serious energy between the wickets between these two players. Minimum a run a ball, lots of twos on offer, and then possibly a fair few boundary options a little bit later. Looking for a single, but he cracked it straight to point, no run. And that is the end of the 14th over. Rhinos 73 for 6. Scores on the doors. Obviously 2 other important games of cricket in this T20 challenge. Eastern Cape and Yati finished on 184 for 4 against Northern Cape Heat, and with 3 balls left, 6 gun grill Garden Route Badgers are 168 for 6. 2 teams lying 2nd and 3rd respectively, chasing big wins here to consolidate their positions in the playoffs. Test match between Bangladesh and Ireland. Ireland ended on 286. Respectable day 1, but not quite the same on day 2. Bangladesh have replied with 338 for 1. Lots of work for Ireland to do with 3 days left. Bangladesh will be looking to bat once and putting pressure on Ireland.
As Mapehola comes back into the attack. Comes into ball at Broken Shaw. Balls at full, just outside off stump. Driven to middle for a dot. Mpumalanga hasn't gone for a lot of runs today, but didn't really seem to have found rhythm today. Overstepped a few times, missed a few times down the leg side as well. He's gotten away with a lot of those. As he bowls a good length on fourth stump. Brockenshore tries to punch that onto the offside, but he just misses. He started with 2 dots so far in his over. His final over, Mpumalanga. I think he'll be happy to finish his work for the day. Ball's a bouncer. Square leg umpire says that's one for the over. Brockenshore tries to pull that onto the leg side, but just bounced up a bit. It's 3 dots to start the final over here from Mpumalanga. I beg your pardon. Ball's a good length on the hips. Brockenshore works it onto the leg side. Final leg comes up, and that's only a single. 2 balls remaining in the over, and now we'll see Mkhoti back on strike. He's only faced 2 deliveries in his innings so far. As I said, he'll be looking to get bat on ball and run as hard as he can between the wickets. Good length on off stump. Blocked onto extra cover for a dot. This has been a good display of bowling from the Winbro Impalas. The bowlers have been really on it today. Been really good at picking up wickets in the power play. As Mkhoti backs away, gives himself a bit of room, drives the ball past backward of point. Cover sweeper comes around and collects it, and it's only a single. Mpumalanga Rhinos are 75 for 6 after 15. Change of bowling. Mkholoboto comes back into the attack. Mkholoboto picked up 2 wickets in the power play for the Impalas. Those 2 wickets definitely gave them a good start. He comes into bowl his final over for the day. He's only gone for 9 in his 3 and picked up 2 wickets. He bowls to Mkhoti. Mkhoti goes on the reverse, but manages to get a top edge to short third man. The Rhinos lose another wicket, and this time around they lose Mkhoti. Impalas are dominating this game so far with the ball. Very much have got the upper hand in this game so far. Hasn't been easy to put away the spin today. As we see, Mkholoboto picks up his 3rd. And into the crease is Hendrickson. The Rhinos frontline seamer. Can definitely hit a long ball as well, as you see with a lot of bowlers. Hendrickson usually likes a little bit of spin as well. He's got long levers. So it's going to be interesting to see how he sort of goes about the rest of Mokgoloboto's spell. He's got 5 balls left to finish his work for the day with the ball. Yeah, but Hendrickson can certainly hit a long ball against spin as well. So if he manages to get a few here for the Mpumalanga Rhinos, try get them to 100, and then see how many wickets they have in hand from that point. Definitely have enough time to get to probably 120, 130. But it's going to take a little bit of work here from Brokenshaw and Hendrickson. Mokgoloboto darts one into the wicket. Hendrickson tries to punch it to long off, but manages to find extra cover. Fallen on the stumps, Hendrickson tries to hit that over long one, but gets an inside edge. Brokenshaw looking for the second run, and Hendrickson sends it back. I'm not surprised to see Hendrickson looking to take on the spin. As I said, he's got long levers and usually sends it rows back. As Mokgoloboto bowls a full one on leg stump and worked into the leg side by Brokenshaw. They come across for a single. Mokgoloboto's got 2 balls left in his spell. He now balls to Hendrickson. Bowled into the wicket. Works it onto the leg side. Hendrickson comes back for a second. And they complete that pretty much comfortably. As we said, that running between the wickets is going to be important to keep that scoreboard ticking. Haven't had a lot of boundaries in their batting innings today so far. 1 ball remaining in Mokgoloboto's spell. Bowls it into the wicket. Hendrickson tries to punch it to long off once again, but it's a dot. Mpumalanga Rhinos are now 79 for 7 after 16. It seems that Captain Peters brings back Modimokane back into the attack. He's bowled 2 overs so far and only gone for 7 runs, picking up 1 wicket. He's got 5 guys out in front of square. Fine leg third man up inside the circle. Pulled onto the leg side by Brokenshaw. It's a boundary off the first ball of the over. Rhinos going to need a lot more of those. Banged into the wicket, but Brokenshaw was up for the challenge. As we see that the Impalas have got their mid-wicket up in the ring and third man down on the boundary. So pretty much a big vacant area there by Cow Corner. Keeper Masondo makes a suggestion to the bowler that we bring third man up. take that mid-wicket and put him back on the boundary. Dimokani bowls a full one just outside off, driven onto the offside. Cover sweeper picks it up and throws it at the bowler's end. The Rhinos only get a single. It's been tidy work in the field as well. Not only has the bowling been good today, but the fielding has been pretty much good from the Wenbro Impalas. Dimokani to Hendrickson. Just missed his Yorker there. Hendrickson drives the ball down to long on for a single. Impalas have taken their catches. Been tidy on the ground as well. Pretty much not given anything away to the Rhinos batters. Dimokani runs into Brockinshaw. Balls one onto the hips, worked onto the leg side. The batters look to see if they can come back for a second, but Mtswiri does a good job in the deep. And we see a change in the field for Hendrickson as the bowler brings long off up into the circle and fine leg goes back onto the boundary. We'll be looking to hit that hard back of a length once again. As Hendrickson swings at that and hits it way over long on for a maximum. It's a really good hit from Hendrickson. And as we said, the Mpumalanga Rhinos are going to need a few more of those. 2 boundaries in the over so far. Oh. That's a hit me length. That's a hit me ball that from Dimokani. Just bowled it on top of the stumps. Just got to bring it a little bit back. It's the length that has been really difficult to hit today from the seamers. So Dimokani comes in again. And Hendrickson hits that one over long on as well. It's 2 maximums to finish the over. It's a really good ball striking that from Hendrickson. It's really good batting that from the Rhino seamer, Hendrickson. Yeah, the Mpumalanga Rhinos will be thinking to themselves if they can get a few more of those, as they are now 98 for 7 after 17. 18 balls remaining in the innings. Oof. This is going to be an interesting matchup with the spinner coming on to bowl with these two at the crease. Brockinshaw 9 of 9, but Hendrickson is on 16 of only just 7 deliveries. Wouldn't be surprised to see Brockinshaw use his feet to get to the pitch of the ball and then target that short straight boundary. Landsberg bowls one. Good length just outside leg stump, worked onto the leg side. Brockinshaw brings Hendrickson back on strike. The length is going to be really important here. Cannot afford to overpitch to Hendrickson, who's got long levers. Anything that will be pitched up, Hendrickson will most likely fancy himself with that short straight boundary. Full and just outside leg. Umpire calls that a wide. Landsberg is going to have to bowl it again. Landsberg seems to be staying a little bit leg side of the batters, asking them to hit him onto the leg side boundary. Big one. Oh, Sweep onto the leg side. That goes past 45. He manages to get that, and the Rhinos batters only managed to get 2 runs. Landsberg staying a lot more leg side. He's bowling his first 3 deliveries of pitched outside leg. Interesting to see if the Rhinos batters are going to back themselves hitting into that big leg side boundary. Hendrickson shifts down the leg side. Landsberg still misses on the outside. Keeper misses that. Brockenshaw gets across. Umpire calls that a wide. Sense getting a feeling that Landsberg is a little bit nervous here. You can see that Hendrickson is looking to take him on. Ball into the wicket. Brockenshaw rocks back and pulls that onto the leg side. Kalkona does the work and only stops that for a single. Three deliveries remaining in the over. Hendrickson back on strike. As we see a bit of a change in the field, interesting tactic. We've got fine leg deep on the boundary, fine leg deep square, Kalkona long on, long off, and cover sweeper comes up. Hendrickson comes down the wicket, but doesn't manage to get under that as he drives it down to long on for a single. Just looking at that field there to finish the over, you can see that they're trying to cramp Hendrickson up to only force him to hit on the leg side. Tried to give himself a bit of room there by shifting leg side. As Brockenshaw comes down the wicket and just places that on the leg side, Hendrickson comes back for the second run. That's good running from the Rhinos batters. It's good running that. Landsberg does not have a mid-wicket to finish his over. That brings about an easy single or sometimes 2 onto the leg side. As Brockenshaw punches 1-2, Kalkona for a single to finish the over. Mpumalanga Rhinos are 109 for 7 after 18. Group discussion there at the bowler's end, as we see a few guys coming in to chat to the bowler and the captain, possibly discussing a few ideas there as to which area is the best to bowl to finish the innings here, as Modimokane comes in to bowl his final over of the innings. It appears Modimokane is going to be coming around the wicket. He has got square leg up inside the ring, and he's got 3 guys out on the offside. You've got cover sweeper, deep backward point, third man on the boundary, and then on the leg side he's only got Kalkona and long on. Looks like he's going to be going wide Yorker. Oh, and he nails it first up. Wide and Yorker length. Brockenshaw only manages to squeeze that to deep backward point for a single. That's good bowling. It's a good example of bowlers bowling according to their fields. Can't afford to miss his length though. Cannot afford to miss his line and length. With mid-off inside the ring, square leg and 45 inside the circle. He's got to nail that wide Yorker. Hendrickson gets a hold of that. Hendrickson gets a hold of that, hits it to wide of long on, but they only managed to come to run across for a single. Good work in the deep. Modimokane missed his length a little bit there. Was lucky to get away with that. Hendrickson swinging across the line there. So 20 of 10. Striking at 200. It's not bad for a seamer. As he tries a wide Yorker, but misses his length slightly. And Brockenshaw hits that over extra cover, but the man in the deep comes around and does the work. Mpumalanga Rhinos managed to run hard between the wickets and manage 3 runs. It's a good shot there by Brockenshaw, and good fielding in the deep as well. It seemed like it was running away for a boundary, but the man in the deep never gave up. Modimokane has gone for 2 singles and a 3 in his over so far. He runs into Hendrickson. Shot delivery in line with the batter. Hendrickson manages to pull that over fine leg for a maximum. It's a risky delivery that. You cannot bowl a short length down the leg side with your deep square and fine leg up. Hendrickson now moves on to 26 of 11. Hendrickson has given the Rhinos a few handy blows here. (26 of 11). There's 2 deliveries remaining in the over. Interesting to see where Modimokane goes after this. Rolls his fingers on that. Just short off a high volley. But Hendrickson swings across the line a little bit early on that. It's a good change of bowling that. Probably the last ball that Hendrickson was expecting. An off cutter. Has to go wide Yorker to finish the over now. Has to. Wide Yorker. Hendrickson gets a bat on that. Brockenshaw happy to scamper across for a single. Mpumalanga Rhinos are now 121 for 7 after 19. This has been good recovery from the lower order of the Mpumalanga Rhinos. Brockenshaw and Hendrickson are on a 4 to 6 run partnership. They'll be looking to get as many as they can in the last over here. We spoke about 20 run overs earlier. The Rhinos batters will be looking to get one of those now to finish their batting innings. Looks like Motwiri is going to bowl the last over of the innings. He's got 3rd man and fine leg up in the circle. 5 guys out in front of square. He runs up to bowl the first delivery to Hendrickson. To Yorker on the stumps. Oh, just a high volley on the stumps, and Hendrickson tries to work it onto the leg side, but gets a leading edge. And it goes down to Short's 3rd man as we look at the replay. Tries to just squeeze that onto the leg side, but his hands go across the line a little bit too early there. Hendrickson out for 27 of 13. It's fair to say that he's done his job for the day with the bat. That wicket brings the left-handed batter in Tetelo Mapaka. The left and right hand combination to finish the innings will hopefully give the Mpumalanga Rhinos a few boundaries to finish the innings. Mutwiri discusses the possible field positions with one of his fielders. He goes with the same field. Fine leg, third man up inside the ring. Oh, and we see a change in the field. Third man goes down, but square leg comes up. Looks like he's going to be looking to bowl full and wide outside off. Full and on the stumps. Mapaka swings at that, but doesn't get enough on that. He finds long off. 10 meters short of the boundary. Mapaka's out first ball. Looks like Mutwiri rolled his fingers on that. Mapaka not getting enough bat on that. Sort of had to go after that, and that is understandable. With only 5 deliveries left in the innings, the Rhinos will be looking for as many boundaries as possible. And that wicket brings the right-handed Smangalis Ntlabele, KZN boy. Interesting to see Ntlabele coming in at number 11. Bowls left arm orthodox. He comes in with 4 deliveries left in the innings. Interesting to see what he does here to finish the innings. Mutwiri's got third man down. I beg your pardon. Third man and fine leg up, and keeps the 5 guys out in front. Ball's a good length on middle stump. Ntlabele pushes it to long on for a single. It's good that from Ntlabele to get the young and strong Brockenshaw back on strike. 3 deliveries left in the Rhinos' batting innings. Brockenshaw will be looking to maximize those deliveries. As Mutwiri runs in, balls it on the hips. Brockenshaw pulls it onto the leg side. Man in the deep brings the throw in. Brockenshaw tried to come back for the second run there, but has been run out. Didn't look like there was a second run there, but you understand the thinking that the number 11 Ntlabele was trying to get Brockenshaw back on strike. The Rhinos have been bowled out for 122 in only 19.4 overs. I beg your pardon, 123. So we see the change of innings. And now we see the Limpopo batters coming out to bat, needing 124 to win. We see the Mpumalanga Rhinos men walking out as well, trying to defend that. Opening the batting for the Impalas, you've got skipper Liam Peters, left-handed batter. Opening the batting with Tyler Trenowith, who's playing his second T20 game. Played his first game not long ago and got a 60 to start off his T20 career. He will be facing the first ball today. Seems it will be Tetelo Mapaka opening the bowling, I beg your pardon, for the Mpumalanga Rhinos. Interesting matchup, that the ball turning into both of the left-handed batters.
It's interesting to see how they approach this, with just a running ball pretty much needed. Wonder if Rhinos might possibly normally start with Gareth Dukes, but looks like he'll be running from this end. But let's see what intent they have in the power play. Short and pulled out straight to deep and wicket for a single. Bit of a loosener to start proceedings.
Kyle corner long on for Mapaka. Kyle corner long on, mid wicket. 45 is the leg side field. As he bowls a full one to Liam Peters, but hits the pad. Umpire says that's pitching outside leg. Close call, that's one. Yeah, that is pitching outside leg.
Going on to hit the stumps, but obviously coming around the wicket, unless it's really full, not much chance of getting an LBW. Just checked into the mid wicket for a dot. Peters, Trenowith, another bigger shot for LBW. Trenowith goes on the sweep. Peters, sorry, goes on the sweep. Riku, tell him. Peters pushes forward. No run. Again, Peters goes on a sweep looking for the vacant deep square, trying to go behind square, but again misses, wrapped on the pads. Third appeal. Angle from Mpaka. Going across and missing the stumps. Again, pitching outside.
It would be interesting to see if Mpaka came over the wicket into the left-hander. I know that becomes an easier hit onto the leg side, but at least you know that your LBW shots are closer than they are if you're coming around the wicket. And on the bottom end we see Gareth Dukes, opening bowler for the Rhinos. He starts with third man in a deep square with a slip catching behind. Starts with a back of a length, slightly outside off. Trenowith punches it to back out of point. And it's a dot to start his spell for the day. The Rhinos will be looking to pick up wickets to to win this game. Falling outside off. Trennerworth on the drive, but he finds the foot of Jukes, and that's only a dot.
Trennerworth knows this ground pretty well. Played a couple of trial games here for the Rhinos, internal trial game, warm-up game, pre-season, and got a few runs, so he knows this all too well. Back of a length, punch through the offside, beats a diving point and goes away for the first boundary of the innings. Used the pace of the Dukes' delivery and just punched it away.
Yeah, Trennerworth, an aggressive batsman up top in the power play. You don't want to be giving him a lot of room there to free his arms. You want to stay a little bit tighter than that in terms of your line. Jukes runs up again. Balls it full outside off. Trennerworth drives that outside off for 4. Back-to-back boundaries for Impalas. Not the starch that Jukes would have wanted. Balling a little bit too wide here at the moment, giving Trennerworth a bit of room to free his arms. Jukes will be wanting to bring his line a little bit closer than that, a little bit straighter. As he balls in off cutter, put down at extra cover. Jukes balls an off cutter to try and get the wicket of Trennerworth. Trennerworth, as he hits it to extra cover, and he's been put down. You do not want to give Trennerworth another chance.
Thought he had it there, Rolfus. Just grabbed it, and then as he kind of landed, it seemed to like just pop out forward. Got a good hand on it and just missed out. Trennerworth angling in, looks to go over the leg side, slight inside edge, no run. So we're watching a replay here. Just back of innings trying to pull it over vacant mid wicket, but can't make proper contact.
It's a good line that from Jukes. Stay a little bit tighter on the stumps there to Tyler. And now we see a change in bowling as Hendrickson comes into bowl in the top end.
Peter's still yet to get off the mark. We're looking to get Trennerworth on strike.
Hendrickson starting with the same field as Jukes. Third man deep square with one guy catching behind. Ball's a good length outside off. Liam Peters cuts that and beats the diving backward point. Third man comes around and the Impalas only managed to get a single there. Backward point a lot more behind square there. Thought he had a chance for a second there to take that catch. Diving onto his right. But that single brings Trennerworth back on strike. Interesting matchup this. As he balls a Yorker on off stump, squeezed onto cover. Nohoti misfields and Liam Peters was happy to get across for a single.
Bit of swing for Henderson here. Looking to pull his length back a little bit and trying to topple the stumps. Good length, angling back in. Peters plays all around that. Beats the inside edge through to Kathrada.
I think the Rhinos bowlers will be looking to bowl to Peters a lot more than Trenoweth, seeing that Trenoweth is a lot more aggressive, especially with only 2 guys out of the ring. Back of a length again. Peters tries to work that on the leg side, but he misses and it hits his thigh pad.
Serve to start here by Peters, 1 off 8 deliveries. Rhinos were looking to maintain the pressure on him. Driven outside, off stump, playing a miss by Peters, good from Henriksen, looking to shape back and it just held this line going past the outside edge. Good areas. The Rhinos need to be patient here, hold good lines, good disciplines, good areas, let the Venbro Impalas hit them off their good lines and lengths. Oh, cross that, swinging back in. Peters mishits it too wide. Mid on and comfortably through for a single. Rhinos won't mind that. Peters keeps a strike. That's the end of the 3rd over. Impalas are 12 without loss.
Spin was a bit difficult to put away in the first innings.
Swanepoel coming into the attack. Off spinner to the 2 left-handers. We're looking to maintain that pressure.
Yeah, I think the Rhinos will be looking to bowl a little bit of spin as well, especially seeing that they got a few wickets in the power play with spin as well. Aubrey Swanepoel, the mystery spinner. Swanepoel will be looking to turn 1 or 2 away from the batter. He's got a car corner long on out. Runs into ball to Liam Peters. Swanepoel misses down the leg side to start. Peters on the sweep shot there, looking to help that along down the leg side, but umpire calls that a wide.
No flight from Swanepoel to start. Firing it in, and that's well wide. And Kathrada can only glove it to short 45, and they run through for a wide, 2 wides to the tally. Swanepoel not prepared to give any flight here. Definitely won't be looking to do that to Trenoweth. Worked out, pushed down too long one for a comfortable single. Happy just to rotate the strike.
Oh, that looks adjacent. Oh, that looked like the impact was in line. Looked like it was maybe going on to hit middle and leg as we look at the replay. Oh, that looks closer than...
Has come from a very wide angle, going on with the arm.
Possibly sliding down onto the leg side.
Full from Pull driven hard by Trenoweth straight to my yet for no run. Trenoweth feels he missed out there. Good from Swanepoel. No flight angling in.
Good idea to bowl a bit of spin to Trenoweth, especially up front in his innings. Usually likes a bit of pace on as well to get going.
Works out comfortably through for one. Trenoweth keeps the strike.
Interesting decision that earlier from the umpire. I reckon the coaches in the dugouts will be looking at that and thinking, yes, that's closer than he would have thought. Obviously, umpire thinking that that is sliding down the leg side, but impact in line. That's a very brave decision that, as Jukes runs in to bowl to Trenoweth. Trenoweth tries to come down the wicket, gets a big outside edge, and that goes over cover, and he manages to get a boundary off of that. Trenoweth loves a little bit of pace on. Gets a really big leading edge there over cover. Once again, that is slightly outside off there, and it allows him to free his arms a bit. Dukesy might want to once again come a bit straighter than that. Oh, hard back of a length that nips away from Trenoweth and beats the outside edge. It's a really good comeback, that hard back of a length. We saw earlier in the first innings that was the most difficult length to put away from the seamers.
First bit of bounce we've seen all day. Just hit that seam, nipped away around the wicket to left hander, the hardest delivery to play. Dukes will be looking to repeat that. But too short, pivots on it does Trenoweth and whips it past short fine for another boundary. A little bit too straight there from Dukes, and Trenoweth just helps it on its way. Just slightly wrong line, and it's gone whistling past short fine for a boundary. Score rolls on to 26 without loss. Straight and full dug out by Trenoweth, and straight to cover for no run. Looks organised as Trenoweth. Hasn't been around. Trialled here earlier, now in the Limpopo side. Came off a good 60 last game and started well here. Works onto the leg side. They're racing, but can't get back for two.
Yeah, Trenoweth, the KZN boy, will probably find that there's quite a bit of competition there in the Dolphins for the spots there available. You've got a couple of guys that are playing for the CSA and the Proteas as well. Stokesy balls one on top of the stumps. Peters works it onto the leg side. He comes back for a second run, and that brings the end to the fifth over. The Wenbro Impalas are 29 without loss. Quite a bit of competition probably there in KZN for Trenoweth. As I said, you've got a couple of guys that are playing SAA, one or two guys maybe playing for the Proteas as well. It seems Trenworth has been looking for opportunities elsewhere in the country. As you say, Neil, he's come here in the pre-season to try and see if there's a spot available in the Mpumalanga Rhinos.
Along with Brokenshaw.
Yep.
Both not on contract, just on pay as you play. Youngsters looking to cement their place in the system of SA cricket, and both have been very good finds. Back of a length from Swanapool and punched off the back foot. Can't get through for a single.
Just have a feeling that something's going to happen in this over with Trenworth on strike. Or bowled into the wicket. Trenworth tries to go back and push that, but looks like the ball skidded onto him a bit.
Backed away, trying to work it on the offside. Just over the top of the stumps. Very good start from Swanapool, 3 dot balls. Season campaigner. Pitches the first one up and Trenworth drives it straight to Mayet at middle for a comfortable single. Both power plays have yielded well below par scores. Inside edge, stifled appeal. No run. Last ball of the power play coming up. Full, and Peters hits it into the ground, and that's the end of the first end of the power play. Wenbro Impalas move along to 30 without loss. 94 more runs to win off the last 14 overs.
Wouldn't be surprising to see a bit of spin here from the Mpumalanga Rhinos, seeing that spin was a bit tidy and a lot more difficult to put away in the first innings. But at the top end, we see Rolfus coming into the attack. Not a bad start from the Wenbro Impalas, considering that they have not lost a wicket yet. So Rolfus comes in to bowl to Trenworth. Starts with a good length on leg stump. Trenworth just pushes that towards extra cover for a single. Captain Peters on 5 of 15 deliveries. As we said earlier, the Rhinos guys will be looking to bowl to him a lot more than Trenworth. As Rolfus bowls one full delivery just outside leg, worked onto the leg side. Tlabela does the work at fine leg and keeps it down to a single.
Boundary's hard to come by here. Both sides backing to find a boundary, but Impalas won't be feeling the pressure as yet. Run rate has gone up a little bit, up to 6.7 over, but well within control if wickets in hand. Another leg by, another one to the total, just ticking over.
Bowled into the hips, and Peters tries to work that onto the leg side. Oh, it seems he got a bit of glove on that. It's given for runs. Fine leg comes around again and does the work in the deep. Rolf is bowling a lot more straighter than Jukesy did earlier. Not giving the batters a bit of room to free their hands. As he tucks Trenoweth in again. Trenoweth tried to give himself a bit of room there. Moving leg side. But Rolfus was up to the challenge as he followed him.
See, the clear game plan here is not to give Trenoweth any room. Tuck him up. Always tough to hit the ball hard into length off the hip. Uppercut over backward point, and to the vacant area over point, and they comfortably back for two. Too much height on that by Trenoweth, resulting in it not getting to the boundary. Brokenshaw comes around and tidies up and takes the score on to 36 after 7. 88 more runs to win. As we have some young ladies watching. Lovely afternoon here at Uplands College. Swanepoel to continue into his third over, drawing by into these two left-handers.
Swanepoel starting with one backward point and a mid-wicket. He'll be trying to squeeze in a couple of dots here to Peters.
Gives himself room. Mayet runs around and takes a comfortable catch, and that is the end of the big wicket of Trenoweth. Toe of the bat. He's given himself a bit of room. Tried to go over long off, but result is Mayet has run across and taken a comfortable catch. First wicket down. Important wicket. Pressure now moves on to Captain Peters. Striking at less than 50% in the T20 is putting a little bit of pressure on your teammates. You'll need to up the ante now that Trenoweth has departed from a well-played 25.
Yeah, the Rhinos will be happy with that. Probably the wickets they would have wanted as early as possible. It was always going to be spent to get him. As we mentioned earlier, he likes a bit of pace on the ball, so can seem to struggle a little bit against spin. Walking out to the crease now, we see the right-handed batter, Sizwe Masondo. Sizwe's got quite a bit of experience as well. He'll be looking to sort of get a move on here for the Impalas innings. Captain Peters, as you said, Neil, hasn't really gotten going so far. He's only on 8 of 18 deliveries. I think the Rhinos guys can sort of see an opportunity there to squeeze a couple of dots, apply a bit of pressure there, by bowling to him as often as possible. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to be a bit more attacking now between the two, with Trenilworth being out. Swanepoel happy to start with just one backward point and a mid wicket once again. Looking to hit wicket to wicket here. Oh, that's a beautiful take by Kathrada. Swanepoel bowls one down the leg side, but Masondo lifts up his back leg and he's found outside the crease. That's a beautiful take that from Kathrada. The Rhinos are going to need a few moments of brilliance like that to give themselves a chance of winning this game. Oh, that's a beautiful take as we watch the replay. And off he goes running.
Yeah, schoolboy error that from Sizwe Mashondo. Falling over on a leg side delivery, knowing that the keeper's up. And as we see it again here, looks to come, walks into the shot and tied up by Kathrada, who whips the bails off. Good pressure here from the Rhinos now. Definitely pressure on the Impalas now. Another new batter, and with Captain Peters, who's not been a little bit bogged down, so there'll be pressure on Kessner as he comes to crease. One of top batters, Kessner. We're looking just to find his feet early on, but we'll need the support from Peters to rotate strike, as that run rate will increase rapidly over the next few overs if the Rhinos maintain that same pressure as they have so far. The run rate's up to 7 for the first time after starting at 6. It's punched out to the offside by Kessner. Comfortable single. Very easy in the gap. You'll need Peters to do the similar. I'm interested to see how Peters plays now, having lost 2 batters, and poor from Swanepoel there. He should have stopped that comfortably through for a single. Let's Peters get another run. This game looks like it's going to go down to the wire. It's not the kind of pitch we expected.
Similar delivery that's got the wicket off Masondo, falling down the leg side. Good take once again from the keeper Kathrada.
Guess I'm not falling into the trap of trying to work out and walk past it.
Worked onto the leg side towards deep square for a single. And that brings the end to the 8th over. Impalas are 41 for 2.
3 very good overs by Swanepoel. 2 for 8 in his 3. Will Captain Mayet keep him on to finish, or will he look to rotate and bring him back a little bit later?
You've got to think that he's going to persist with spin on this end, yeah. As we've seen, spinners haven't really been put away on this end here. Wouldn't be surprised to see Swanepoel finish his spell on this side with Smonga Ntlabelo to follow. Spin just might be how the Rhinos sort of find their way back into this game and hopefully get across the line.
Still got eight overs of possible spin to bowl out of the final 12, so interesting to see how they go about it. Rolfus back of a length. Kistner tries to punch out an onside, offside, can only get an inside edge. Chinese cut down to Dukes at fine leg. One more to the tally. We're keeping an eye on that run rate. Will the Impalas. Shorter pulls out, good fielding by Khotsi on the mid wicket, diving stop, no run.
It's a good effort in the field that by Mkhotsi.
Pressure on the opposing captain, away captain, striking at less than 50%, adding a lot of pressure onto the rest of his teammates. Short, works it. Dive from Mkhotsi. Might have got fingertips to it. And out it goes for a single. Very close.
Close chance there at mid wickets there. Mkhotsi diving onto his left. Nearly gets a hand on that.
As the home captain. Necessary. Too concerned about that not being a wicket. Kistner drives out into offside. It's far out and comes to be back for two. Big boundary out there. Slightly to his right. And they're back for two. Yeah, just if you have someone striking at less than 50%, they have to go through and catch up and make up for short. Kistner jabs onto the mid wicket, no run.
Yeah, it looks like Liam will be looking to anchor the innings, bat through. I think, even with that in mind, he'll want to get a bit going, yeah, as well. Keep the scoreboard ticking a bit more than what he's doing now. Usually in a T20 game, if guys are trying to anchor the innings, they try to go above a runner ball at least. Hasn't really gotten to a good start has Liam Peters. But he can still catch up. As long as he's there in the end, I guess, to see his team over the line. As Kastner works that out onto the leg side, deep square comes around, but he only keeps that down to a single. Okay, and that single brings the end of the 9th over. Impalas are 46 for 2.
Looks like Swanepoel's going to finish his quota of 4 overs. Trying to get one more wicket here in his final over of his spell. .78 more runs to win off 11 overs, just a tad above 7 over. Impalas won't be too concerned. Did see how the Rhinos at the back end managed to clear the ropes a few times, which took the score up to 120. Pushed down by Kestner, down for 1. Captain Mayet tidies up.
Yeah, with 8 wickets in hand, you're thinking that 70 odd runs with 11 overs to go. You think that's not too big an ask, but
We've seen funnier things this season, so expect a tight finish here, ladies and gentlemen. Peters backs away, cracks it through the offside. Kessler very quick and gets comfortably back for the second.
the Impalas will be thinking they don't want to leave it until too late to sort of get over the line. I think the deeper they drag it, the more they sort of give the Mpumalanga Rhinos a chance as Liam works it onto the leg side but finds mid-wicket. The deeper they take this game, the more the Rhinos will sort of fancy themselves in this game. Punched down to long on for a single by Peters. And that brings the 50 runs for the Windbros Impalas.
Two balls left off Sonapul's spell. I'll be looking to possibly try and just, can he sneak in another wicket here? Kessler, got a flight from Swanepoel. Kessler backs away and drives it down to jukes it long off. Last ball. Whipped by Peters into the onside. Ooh. And off they're going for two. And that's a run out, and that is the end of Kessler. It's been run out by Captain Peters. Peters turned for a second. Kessler came and then he turned him back and said no. Big wicket that. Kessler, one of the top batters for the Impalas. Broken short quickly off the boundary. Youngster whips it in. Now the pressure really mounts on Captain Peters. What has he got?
That's good fielding there from Brokenshaw. Out in the deep at cow corner. Runs in to prevent the second run. And finds Kessler short of his crease. Oh, a little bit of nervous energy here from the Impalas.
Very much so. We have a game on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen how games like this unfold. Scoreboard pressure. The fact that 3 of the top batters already out. It doesn't look that easy for the new batter coming in to, certainly not to clear the ropes and also to rotate strike. So Rhinos will be squeezing. You can expect to see spin from this northern end for a fair few more overs. Swanepoel finishes his spell, fantastic spell, 4 overs, 2 for 18.
Yeah, asking rate now at 7.2. The dugout will be well aware of that. And they'll be trying to stay sort of not too far off of that. Matuidi is the in batter. He joins his Captain Peters. Matuidi usually a lot more attacking in style of play. And into the attack is now Hendrickson as he runs into ball to Peters. Starts with a good length outside off. Gave Peters a bit of width there. Peters missed out. Peters doesn't seem to be moving as well as he would like here. Usually when batters are in good touch, they put that away for a boundary. It was nearly a wide to that. But Hendrickson gets away with it, starts with the dot, he runs in again. Good length outside off again, beats Peters on the inside of his bat. See a bit of pressure mounting on Peters here as Motswedi comes in to gives him a word.
For 14 of 27, his Peters' run rate has crept up to 7.5 and over. Need to get off strike here.
Catch.
Oh. Over the top, squeezes it out, and slight misfield there from Dukes, who looks to have possibly injured himself, and back for 3.
Just over backward point there from Peters' bat. He now moves on to 17 of 28.
It's really on to strike. He's taking guard. Looks like he's taking 2 leg. Henriksen will look to hit some good areas to the new batter up front. Down the leg side, wide given. Looking to borrow too much there is Henriksen.
Impalas now needing 68 to win. And we're halfway through into the 11th over. Rhinos will be looking to take a few more wickets here to get deeper into this game. As Hendrickson bowls a good length on off stump. Little bit of noise in the field. The Rhinos guys getting a lot more excited now. Feeling that they have a bit of a chance in this game here. 1 or 2 more wickets from here. It will be interesting to see who's going to be feeling a lot more confident and feeling like they're on top of the game. Punched out to cover sweeper by Motswedi. And that brings Peters back on strike.
Good backing up there from Mapaka, running all the way from point to square leg to back up the throw. Live wire in the field. Pressure is mounting now, definitely.
Hendrickson will be looking for a dot here to finish his over.
Again squeezed over, backward square. Peters turns for 2. Oh, no one at the bowler's end. Motswedi thought that it was right to the keeper. Good from Dukes. Wings it in. And that brings the end of the 11th over. 59 for 2.
Bit of nervous energy once again here from the Impalas. You can see it in their running between the wickets. Taking a lot more risk. As Peters calls a late run there. And now we see a change in bowling as the left arm orthodox Smangaliso Ntlebela comes into the attack. Be interesting to see how Ntlebela goes here. Usually bowls a little bit slower than your normal pace in a T20 game. Definitely opposite to Mapaka, who bowled up front in the power play. He bowled a whole lot quicker than that. But Ntlebela usually backs himself to give the ball a little bit of air, inviting the batsman to sort of come after him. He'll be looking to take 1 or 2 sticks here to give the Rhinos an upper hand. Starts with the 4-1, punched to extra cover. Good fielding there by Juxi.
Bold pace off there, but a turn almost playing too early is Motsweri. As an onlooker here, I'd look to get left arm spin on both ends here. 2 different type of left arm spinners, but very skillful. We've seen all day that spin has been hard to hit. Interesting to see what Captain Mayet goes with from the far end. Does he stick with Henderson, or does he bring on spin from both ends? Possibly might see how this next 4 balls pan out.
This will be the matchup to watch out for here. Smanger balls to Peters on the sweep, and he finds the gap between deep backward square and cow corner.
Very good shot. Picked out a gap, much needed boundary for Peters. Deep square seems to be quite far behind there. Even with 45, I think he should possibly be a bit squarer.
I think Peters will sort of back himself against Tlabela here, turning the ball into him. Tlabela goes again, punched down to long on for a single. I think Tlabela will not mind Peters coming into him, trying to sort of have a go at him. Who knows, that might just bring a chance. Two balls remaining in the over. Tlabela to bowl to Motsweri.
Very good from the Rhinos here. Maintain that pressure. Took a very good shot to get a boundary, but still getting his dot balls in here, which is crucial. And he's mishit it. High in the air and comfortably taken by Rolfus, and that is another wicket for Tlabela in his first over. Picked up 1 previous games in his first over. Pressure mounting, pace off the ball. Is Captain Mayet going to go with spin from the other end again?
That's the big call to make here. Does he double up with spin as we watch the replay? It's not the replay we're looking for. But as I said earlier, Tlabela will not mind batters having a go at him, because he knows that's going to give him a chance.
Interesting, another left-hander coming in. But don't see a problem with the big square boundaries and the way that these 2 left-arm spinners bowl. You're looking to go, trying to clear the square boundaries as opposed to the straight.
Yeah, Tlabela's got the one that goes straight as well, so do not think he's going to be too nervous bowling to 2 left-handed batters. I think if he gets a sense that one of them are trying to sort of swing across the line, he can always just push it across them.
Brings Kleinans to the crease to join his captain Peters, who now needs to bat through to take the Impalas over the line.
Get a feeling that this is a make or break partnership this for the Impalas. If the Rhinos get 1 more wicket here, the chances might be a bit more even. So Rolfus comes into the attack.
It's important that the seamers, we've seen from that end, the ball isn't bouncing. Just hit that hard length, and a couple have gone a little bit under. That's the length to go. Working out tucking up, trying to hit the top of the stumps. Nowhere to go for the batters. Can't get underneath it. Ball skidding on. Just got to maintain that. Anything full, I think, will be dispatched. But we'll see what. We'll see how Rolfus maintains his good hard length. Ooh. What ended up being a fairly comfortable single. A few shouts for direct hit, but missed them. But I think Rhinos was comfortable there. Peters called that and got through for the single.
Yeah, there definitely seems to be a bit more pressure now in the batting of the Impalas. As one hits the pad of Peters, it just goes down the leg side for one leg by. Get a sense that the Impalas feeling a little bit of pressure here, obviously having lost wickets, especially what looked like it's been unnecessary wickets that have been lost. A little bit more on the softer side as Rolfus runs in again. Good length just outside off stump, and it's a dot.
Just keep maintaining that hard test match length. It's quite enjoyable as a bowler to bowl on situations like this. Ball's not really bouncing off the top and not really coming on. You can just maintain a good hard test match length here. Rolfus comes in, bowls a short one, but pushes it down the leg side, and that is a wide. 2 balls left of the 13th over. Impalas needing a run rate of 7.6 to the over. Nice and tight from Rolfus again, good length. Rhinos tries to beat the bowler, but he doesn't. Good fielding by Rolfus, and another crucial dot ball. Quick scampered leg by. Rolfus gets across but can't pick it up cleanly. Rhinos will be happy with these dots and singles as the run rate creeps up to 7.7. As we look at the other games in the division, Nyati securing their spot in the possibly in the eliminator qualifier. Comfortable victory over Northern Cape Heat, and looks like Eastern Storm are causing an upset, beating 6-gun Grill Garden Route Badgers, which will mean the winner of this game will stay in touching distance of the Garden Route Badgers.
Captain Mayet making a change in bowling here, getting a sense that with 2 left-handed batters at the crease, might be a little bit easier to hit the ball across the line here into that deep leg side pocket. As we see Brockinshaw coming into the attack. Interesting call that, seeing how spin was very good today and seeing that Tlabela picked up a wicket in his first over. But let's see how Brockinshaw goes. He balls a good length, just outside off stump. And they get across for a quick single. Skipper Mayet asking a lot more from his fellow teammates there, Mkhoti. You would have been thinking that Mkhoti is a lot more on the one. But with that being said, I do not think that you mind Peter's back on strike, seeing that he's only on 25 of 33 deliveries.
As we get closer to the end, each ball, each dot or single, you'll see the run rate creep up. It's approaching 8s.
Better work there from Mkhoti as he's come closer. There's a lot more on the one now to prevent that single, which Peters has shown that that's all he's looking for at the moment. He's just looking to get off strike, not really looking to deflect pressure back onto the bowler. Brockenshaw runs in again. Inside edge onto the stumps from the bat of Peters. Not how he would have wanted to go out after having been there for 34 deliveries, only managing to get 25 runs. Not his best outing there as a skipper.
You can see the tactics from the Rhinos here. Pace, hard pace into the pitch, not coming on as what we expected, and hard to hit a good length.
Turns out to be a good change of bowling there from Captain Mayet, bringing in the young Brockenshaw. It wasn't too long ago that Brockenshaw took a fifer on this very same wicket. He's picked up his first in his first 3 deliveries.
With those last 2 balls being dots, run rate has now gone above 8. Very much a disciplined bowling display here by the Rhinos. Impalas ended up getting to 30 odd without loss, now sitting at 71 for 5. Don't go anywhere, folks, this is going down to the wire. Brings in Keenan Vieira. We'll be looking to one run off the first 4 balls. 2 new batters at the crease. Pressure mounting. 1 or 2 more wickets here, and I think it's going to be a tough ask for the Impalas. None of them have timed the ball sweetly, and Rhinos have picked up what length to bowl here. Slightly short from Brockenshaw, and cracked through the covers for a single. Great shot, but again, once only being a single. Only been 1 boundary in the last 4 overs.
Yeah, at the change of innings, you would have been thinking that the Impalas had a bit of an upper hand, restricting the Rhinos batters to 123. But now, full and outside off, driven to cover sweeper for a single. But now, seeing that the Impalas are 72 for 5, you get a sense that the momentum is swinging into the Rhinos a little bit here as the 14th over comes to an end. The Impalas are 73 for 5. Bit of a momentum shift here in favor of the Rhinos.
Not yet happy with to maintain seamers. Seamer's done a good job. Spin obviously has been tough, but seam has been very good. hitting a good length. All the bowlers are trying anything too difficult, too different. Literally just hitting a hard length, no width, and trying to make the Impalas do something different. These guys know, Kleinans and Vera know that there's pressure on them. If one of them gets out here, you start getting into towards the tail. Henderson back in. Again, just bowling that good length, angling back into the left-hander, through to Kathrada. That one just bounced a little bit more, that one. Played slightly over the back. Slightly indifferent bounce here. Be playing on these batters' minds as well. The fact that 51 runs off 6 overs, 5.5 overs. Run rate has spiraled from just over 7 to approaching 10s. Good over here by Henderson. We'll get that run rate up close to 10. They punch through the offside for a comfortable single. Rhinos very content with singles and dots. 1 run off the first 3 balls.
Yeah, the Rhinos have done really good work here to start off their bowling innings, picking up a few wickets, but also just not going for a lot of runs as well. Just to stay in the game a lot more than they would have thought. As Vieira tries to pierce one through cover, Klebela does good work there at extra cover.
As they say, you don't need a high scoring game for a good game of cricket. Good length from Henderson, push back by Vieira, can't do much with that. Another dot, 1 run off the first 5 deliveries.
Where's the next boundary going to come from here for the Impalas? Got to ask yourself where it's going to come from. Disciplined bowling from the Rhinos at the moment. It's gonna take good batting for them to get a few boundaries here to sort of keep their innings going.
Swing from Vieira, can't time it, and just get through for a single. Very good over from Henderson. He's completed 3 overs for 11 runs. 49 runs to win off the last 5 overs. Run rate at 9.9. Has spiraled up from a couple of 20 odd minutes ago from being in 7 over. Suddenly pressure, a lot of pressure on the Impalas now. Broken short to continue.
Yeah, you look at Hendrickson, he's bowled 3 overs and only gone for 12. He hasn't taken wickets, but he's been tidy. He hasn't gone for a lot of runs. And that shows the discipline that the Rhinos bowlers have bowled with. His broken short runs into bowl to Vieira.
Very good areas again. So Martin, yeah, just it's having bowled on a few situations like this before, your confidence is sky high. Your margin for error is actually a lot bigger than what it would be on a very good batting track. And you just keep hammering away, trying to top of off, no width, and wanting the batters to make play. As we say that, he's walked across and played an unbelievable scoop over the keeper for 1 bounce 4. Much needed impetus there. Good delivery from Brokenshaw. He's just walked across and paddled him back over his head. More of these kind of shots needed. Many more.
Yeah, that's what it's going to take for the Impalas to get that 49 runs that is required. Well, inside edge, and the ball goes down to fine leg, and it's only a single. Yeah, you get a feeling that that's what it's going to take. Batters are going to have to improvise or take the game on a bit to get a move on here. Otherwise, with the way that the Rhinos are bowling, it looks like they just might be in favour to go over the line here as Brokenshaw comes around the wicket to CP.
Back of a length, punched out to the offside. Thought of a second, but good fielding on the sweeper boundary. 43 required, or 4.2 overs. Rates over 10 now. Picked it up onto the leg side, doesn't get it clean enough. 1 bounce out to deep square. Again, only a single. 7 runs off this over. Boundary needed.
Tlabella thought he might have had a chance there, but it was well off. That was way short of him. As we see a change in the field, third man comes up and mid-off goes back to the boundary.
Possibly pace off here. Yeah, worked out to the leg side. Only 1 to Fanikak, and that is the end of another good over. Even with that boundary, the rate still continues to rise. 10 over 10s now, going into the last 4 overs.
It's been very interesting cricket here in the last 2 games played by the Mpumalanga Rhinos. Even though they fell short against the Knights, it was definitely a thriller. The game going down to the wire and ending in the last over. And the previous one before that they played here at home against Eastern Storm, managing to go over the line from a really desperate situation. The Rhinos have definitely shown that they've got the character to fight until the end. Having had that experience, especially here at home, they'll be thinking that they have a very good chance here to still get over the line. So Rolfus comes in, bowls it short. CP tries to hook that onto the leg side, but he gets a glove on that and the keeper runs up quickly and the batters do not run. Impalas needing 41 here to win. It's getting a lot more interesting for sure. Rolfus runs in. Balls are hard, back of a length, but CP manages to just hook that over mid-wicket. And they're running hard between the wickets and they're looking for the third. And they make it pretty comfortably. Captain Mayet bringing Kyle Corner back into the circle, hoping to squeeze a couple of dots there, but the Impalas batters use that to their advantage and get 3 of that last delivery. Now 3 brings Vieira back on strike. Captain Mayet persists with mid-wicket up in the circle. Interesting to see how Vieira goes about his business from here. Hard back of a length. What looked like it was a Chinese cut onto extra cover on the circle, and the batters managed to get across for a single. Impalas now needing 37 runs to win.
37 off 22 deliveries, 21 deliveries. Tough task when it hasn't been easy scoring the whole day. One of these two is going to have to play an absolute blinder, change the field, and the wicket goes back. Finally comes up. (37 off 21, sorry. Third man comes up as well. Finally goes back now. He'll be looking to bowling a hard length, tucking him up here around the wicket, and he gets a top edge on it, and it runs away for 4. Slightly too fine that from too straight that from Rolfus, and helps it on its way, gets a top edge, and it beats fine leg for 4. Much needed boundary. 33 off 20.
Impala batters definitely not showing signs of backing down here. Rolfus misses down the leg side. Oh, and the batters get across quickly for a single. That's a wide plus the 1.
31 off 20.
Got to be a bit more disciplined than that. You get the idea that Rolfus wants to tuck the batters up, tuck them in a bit, and force them to sort of take that leg side boundary on. Just misses down the leg side in that case.
Good pace from Rolfus. Rushes Vieira there and through to Kathrada. 31 off 19.
Vieira probably moving a little bit too much there, expecting the ball to be a little bit straighter than it was in the end. Expecting Rolfus to bowl stump to stump lines here as he runs into ball. Short and wide again, and it's cut to backward point.
Very well stopped by Mkhotsi, and he keeps it down to a single. End of over number 17. 30 required off the last 3. Options. Henderson's got 1 to come. Brokenshaw's possibly got 2. Might just be those 2 to bowl. End of a good spell there from Hammond Rolfus. 4 overs, 0 for 24.
Yeah, this over might be make or break for the Impalas. Needing 30 of 18 here. This might be the over that either gets them slightly ahead, or the game might just maybe run away from them. As Brokenshaw runs in to Vieira. Picked up.
No one out at mid-wicket in the gap, and comfortably back for 2. Just going to say, I interrupted you there. I was just going to say that Cow is up and big vacant gap out there. is a big, and as we're talking, are they pushing him back? There's a option in the slot to go. I think he's keeping him up there, or is he pushing him back? Who's coming up? Third man has come up. So everyone's out on the leg side. Brokenshaw can't give any width here on the offside. And a beautiful reverse paddle here from Vieira. Beats the third man, has just come up. Pace off from Brokenshaw, actually bowled that well. Watching a replay, he's actually played a great shot there. Has Vieira worked that. Looking for gaps in the field. Where are their boundary riders? Difficult to clear the ropes here. So just looking where they can manipulate the field. He's done that beautifully. 24 required off 16. Going down to the wire here, ladies and gentlemen. Vieira pushes out onto the onside, but Mpaka is super quick. That brings up the hundred. Draw around the wicket. Back of a length, not too much bounce. Clayhouse goes on the pool and misses it. Vital dot ball. "14 deliveries, 23 required." Two big deliveries left in this over. The Rhinos will be happy with, they don't concede a boundary. Pushed out comfortably, back for 2, very well played. 21 off 13. It's been hovering around the 10s, Martin, for the last few overs, and they've been scraping to around 10 runs off each over. So I'll be looking to get possibly a 2 or even a boundary this delivery, taking it down to under 20 off the last 2 overs. Cut over, backward point. Beautiful shot, timed. Too much width from Brokenshaw, and that is the boundary that the Limpopo needed. Gave himself a little bit of width, wasn't the worst delivery, possibly a fraction too short. And that concludes the 18th over. 13 runs from it. The over that the Impalas were possibly looking for. 17 required off the last 2 overs. Hendrickson, we know, will bowl 1. And he's coming on to bowl it now. Bring your best bowler on the second last. You don't want to leave it to the last over when there's only, say, 7 or 8. What can Hendrickson deliver here that leave the last over, leave his teammate with the last over to bowl?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where Vieira goes. The only boundaries he's gotten so far have been behind square over the keeper, and we've seen out that the Rhinos have got the third man and fine leg back. So interesting to see if Vieira is going to back himself to go in front of square as Hendrickson runs in. Oh, that's hit him in line. Oh, and the umpire raises his finger. That's a good start to your second last over. Hendrickson gets the LBW off Keenan Vieira. As we watch the replay here.
As you watch Henderson, he's very slingy, coming in low, angling back in, and that looked stone dead. He's got a good field set here. 4 guys out on the leg side, looking to hit the stumps. Only one way to go. A little bit of indifferent bounce to actually connect and clear one of those 4 leg side fielders is going to be a monumental task.
Vieira never looked like he backed himself to take the fielders on in front of square. Just looking to use the pace all of the time. Good field placing. This from Henriksen and Captain Mayet.
Interesting to see what the chat will be between these Impala batters. Do they look to obviously, rotate this over, get 1s and 2s and leave 10, 11 off the last? Or do they look to try and, get as close as they can this over? The Rhinos have got their best bowler bowling in the second last over. They do know that they have a chance in the last over, but Henderson backing, bowling wicket to wicket. He's backing himself here. Big boundary on the leg side. 17 required off 10 deliveries. New batter on strike. Henriksen not leaving the stumps. Looking to hit the top of middle every delivery. Big pressure on Moni Mokoma here. And they get through for a single. What does Kleinhans do here? 16 off 9.
It's good running that from the Impalas batters, as Kleinhans tries to get on strike. If the Impalas are to get over the line here, he'll be the man. This will be the wickets that the Rhinos will be looking to get going into the last over. I'll definitely give them an upper hand.
Right, same field for the left-hander. Henderson coming from his wide of the crease, slinging it in, looking to cramp him up. And it's trying to give himself some width, and hit through the offside. But he can't clear. Henderson follows him. Very good bowling. Kleinhans should have just carried on, worked it to the leg side and picked up 1, possibly 2. A little dink onto the leg side with that big boundary is definitely a possibility of a 2. Great start. 1 run off 3 balls. And he's bowled him! Angling in from outside off. Hit the top of the stumps as he has every delivery this over. And could that be the nail in a coffin for the Rhinos? 1 run off 4 deliveries this over. Fantastic bowling from Henderson. 2 new batters at the crease. Not easy to hit. Henderson leaving his teammate Dukes with what is going to look like a lot more than what the Rhinos thought coming into this over. 1 run off 5 deliveries with 2 wickets. Game changing over from Henderson. Hasn't left the stumps. Slingy action, ball skidding in top of the stumps. Fantastic effort. As we watch the replay here, obviously Kleinhans looking to give himself a bit of width, angling in, tuck him up, and that is the end of Kleinhans. 16 required off 7 deliveries. Henderson will be looking to possibly get another wicket here. In he comes again. Oh, attacks the stumps. And that is a fantastic over match winning over, more than likely by Henderson. 1 run for 2 wickets, and that ends a fantastic spell by John Henderson. 4 overs, 2 for 13. That leaves Gareth Dukes with 16 required off his over. It looks like the Rhinos are 1 over behind here from a time factor, meaning that they'll need 5 in the ring. But so the offside will be packed ring. No one out on the offside. No one out on the offside at all. Dukes will be looking to go middle leg every delivery. Cutters into the pitch, turning into the right-handed batter. Massive boundary on the leg side. All 4 guys are back. Five in the ring, no one out on the offside. Is he going to do some improvising? Is he going to switch hit? Dukes is going to come in, he's looking to bowl into the wicket. There we go. Pace off, cuts it in. Good start. Very tough for these 2 batters to come in and strike what is going to be 3 or 4 boundaries is going to be needed. 15 required from 5 deliveries. 3 boundaries minimum needed to the big boundary. This is going to be, and he comes, yeah, happy with that. Tuck him up, comfortable single, slight misfield. Is he going to run him out? Got back. Rhinos won't mind that too much. Should have just been a single, but still makes it 13 required of 4. You know, a single here would mean a boundary every delivery to win the game. Duke's experienced campaigner knows that header length, pace off, pace on, packed leg side boundaries, massive boundaries. Confidence is high. Comes in beautifully, just over the corner of leg stump. Very good from Dukes. 6 and 2 4s required here to win the game. Conversation in the middle between the 2 batters. Really have to work out what they're going to do here. In Dukes comes. This bowl's a good length. Works it out. Happy to get 2. Stop the boundary. Comfortable. That takes it down to 11 off 2. 6 and 4 for a super over here, ladies and gentlemen. 2 6s to win the game.
Yeah.
11 runs off 2 deliveries. In comes Dukes. Bowls it, slaps it, straight to Mayet. And that is the game, ladies and gentlemen. Very good from Gareth Dukes. Sussing conditions out nicely into the pitch. And that is the end of Moklokloboto. And the Impalas lose their 8th wicket.
It's a beautiful finish there by the Rhinos bowlers. Probably a game-changing over that by Hendrickson to make sure that Dukes has got enough to defend in the last over. Dukes has come in and bowled that hard back of a length again, asking batters to hit him onto the big boundary on the leg side. Seeing that he's bowling to the lower order, it might be a bit of a task.
Only 5 runs been scored in the last 11 deliveries for the loss of 3 wickets. Really has changed it, and this is going to be a comfortable victory in the end by Mpumalanga Rhinos. my man of the match would definitely be John Hendrickson. Played a vital role with the bat, and then followed up with a great bowling display. Followed his teammate Aubrey Swanepoel, who bowled a fantastic 4-over on the bounce spell, which led the way to a comfortable victory. Flicked out to the leg side, run through for 1, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is a 9-run win for the Mpumalanga Rhinos.
That is a beautiful display of character there by the Rhinos men. Stay in the game all the way until the end, much like what they did against Eastern Storm about 2 weeks ago. Really well done there by the Mpumalanga Rhinos. The home fans will be happy with that performance.
And with the Eastern Storm beating 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers, that takes Mpumalanga Rhinos up to 2 points behind the Badgers with 1 game to go. A victory for the Rhinos in their last game and a loss for the Badgers will mean a home qualifier, a home eliminator for the Mpumalanga Rhinos. Thank you for joining us as what has been a cracking low-scoring game here at Uplands College. And until the next home fixture, hopefully, there we say goodbye from Uplands College here in White River.